Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today I'm coming at you dressed as a tablecloth. Just kidding. I'm trying gingham. Is anyone else trying gingham or has tried gingham and has any tips for gingham? I'm trying to love it. I kind of like, how relaxed it is, but I'm not really sure that it's me. Anyway, I will dabble in these things and, I'm off the topic. Okay, so the video today is the Luxury Raffle Tag, and I'd like to thank my good friend, Leslie Ebene, for tagging me to do this video. Because Connor, who created this tag, and I will reluctantly link his channel below, failed to tag me, and I thought we were friends. So, anyway, now I know who my real friends are. I'll talk to him in our next collaboration about this. So Connor created a tag. He came up with 30 questions. He wrote them on paper. He cut them out and made it a raffle. I did not want to do that amount of paperwork, so I've just put numbers in a champagne coupe, and I'm going to read the questions that I've cut and pasted from Leslie's video description. So the idea is that out of the 30 possible questions, which will be linked in my description box below, I draw 10 out and answer them, like a random luxury Q&A. It's a great idea. I have to give him that much. So I would also like to hear your answers to these questions if you were answering them too. So let me just open up the question document. All right. I've got to grab my first question. Okay. Number 20, question 20. Oh, the bag you're thinking of selling next. Well, this is a little interesting. I feel like I've been caught out. Quite a while ago now, I, with the help of another YouTuber here, Amelia Rose, discovered and purchased the Chanel Sunset by the Sea bag, and I will put a picture of it up here. I did not unbox it on this channel because when I got it, I thought it was the smaller size, the 22 centimeter, and it was actually the 26 centimeter. And it's just a little bit structured for me. I love the color. I loved coral. I wanted a coral 19 bag. If you've been here for a while, you would have heard that story. Anyway, to quote some of the luxury jargon that we use, it didn't make my heart sing. And so, yes, if it's not sold by the time you see this video, I am certainly looking to sell it. I don't like to unbox things that I have no intention of keeping here, but I do have to say that the buying experience from Redilux, I'll link their Instagram and or their website below, was amazing. So no shade on them whatsoever. It's not for me. Okay, next question. Number 2. Okay. The worst Chanel collection. The worst Chanel collection. Well, I guess I've only properly been following Chanel collections for a couple of years, so my experience will be limited in that regard in terms of commentary. I think I'm going to have to say maybe it was last year's Métier d'Art collection that had all of the little jewels on the bags. Anything that kind of looks crafty is something that I don't particularly like, especially from a brand like Chanel, and we have talked about the Pearl Mini before. It's a lot of money, and look, they may have been attached to the bag with the greatest of care, but yeah, I do remember 2020, I did not buy one Chanel bag all year. There was nothing that I liked. And then I got my Chanel 19 in the 21P collection, which kind of broke the drought. But yeah, basically 2020 wasn't for me. All right, next question. I prefer doing it this way, much less paperwork. 23. Okay. Oh, Birkin or Kelly, and why? God, I keep getting haunted with these Hermes questions. I actually went into the Hermes boutique not that long ago, and if you've been watching my channel, you would have seen that I revealed a pair of Aran sandals. I have been wearing them all of this week, so I'm going to give you a review because a lot of people asked me questions around what kind of, foot do I have in terms of, do I have a wide foot or a long foot? Do I find them comfortable? Do they slap when I walk? All those things. So stay tuned. I will do a mini review on these sandals because there's lots of interest about them. While I was there, our boutiques recently had quite an extensive refurb, and so there were actually bags to look at. And there was a bag in like a chalky white colour. I'm not sure what it was, but it was a Kelly Return in the 28, and I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful. So I do think that whilst I don't like the process of being able to attain a beautiful bag like that from the boutique, I also struggle, for me, to pay those kind of dollars for bags that I find are less excitable to me than some of the bags that I have in my collection, which are worth quite a lot less. So it's always a question that I and ah about, but I'm going to say, probably, based on seeing that Kelly, maybe I'm leaning towards the Kelly direction. Okay, question number 4. 19. Your most delicate bag. Okay, this one's a tricky one because it comes down to 2. Actually, it comes down to 3, and that's because I probably haven't used this one enough to know really whether or not it's delicate. The first one is my beautiful Fendi sequin baguette. Obviously, this is all hand beaded and sequined, so that takes work. And if one of these little beads were to come off, I'm sure a whole bunch of them would follow in its place. So the nature of a baguette in terms of the opening is that you lift this magnetic tab, and I think doing that on a regular basis and kind of holding the base of the bag, I've got an organizer in mine at the moment, that's why it's kind of boxy. That's a risk that you could damage these sequins down here. The other 2 I should mention is my Chanel Franken bag, as it's been affectionately nicknamed on my channel. This bag is in lamb and tweed, and I'll just do a bit of a close-up here. You can see, and I've worn it, I wear all my bags, and I don't go out of my way to damage them, but in wearing bags they do show wear sometimes, and you can see that there's just a little bit of fuzz on some of the tweed, and so I am very conscious of ensuring that there's a couple of like pop stitches. I don't know if you can see them just here. I am very conscious. Oh, there we go. I can kind of pull that off. You can see it against my finger. To take care when I use this bag because of that, but that didn't stop me from using it before I knew that. Given that it is a dark colour and the stitching and the panelling in the tweed is dark as well, it is kind of forgiving in terms of dirt or colour transfer, so in that respect it's probably not as delicate as it might be if it was a light colour, which is a great segue onto the third bag, which I think is my most delicate, and that's my Fendi Lamb mini baguette in the lilac. Look at this colour, isn't it just divine? I am so glad I chased this thing down. It is beautiful. I have got to be careful. I've got a bad habit of I store my bags like a bookshelf, like the Chanel boutiques do, but sometimes I just slide it in next to my Valentino Rockstud bags, and you don't want those nasty little spikes to get stuck in this beautiful smooth lambskin. So I also do take particular care with this one and make sure that I avoid colour transfer as well. Question number 5. 25. Okay, Gucci or Prada? Oh, this is hard, Connor. Okay, I have 2 Gucci bags. I have 2 Prada bags. I have to say, in terms of the brand that piques my interest the most, it's definitely Gucci. Particularly vintage Gucci, and then, you know, since Alessandro Michele has been creative director at Gucci, the real fun, youthful experimentation in fashion I thought was really refreshing. Not that I've bought a lot, but I do respect that, and I'm always interested to see what Gucci comes out with. So I don't know. I think Gucci would be my favourite, but I love the sophistication of Prada. I think Prada it's timeless, and it is a style all of its own, and it's been great to see the resurgence of Prada ready-to-wear in the nylon range, and also the re-edition bags. It's been great. Okay, number 6, 17. The least practical bag that I own. So you could take this question a couple of ways. The first one that came to mind was my Fendi Nano baguette. This is a nano baguette, but it's also a bag charm. So you could argue that this is not a bag, although it does have a beautiful long chain strap that you can wear crossbody or on the shoulder as a little bag. This one is pretty much a card case on a necklace kind of chain. It's super sweet and not practical. And if we're talking strictly bags, not bag charms, I'd say my Louis Vuitton Petite Boîte Chapeau would be less practical, just because when you open the S-lock here, it opens about that much. And then your phone, if you have a plus size phone, won't fit in here, which is why I bought the iPhone 12 mini. For the days that, you know, I'm going to be using this bag. This bag is just for things that you want to get every now and then, like a lipstick, your keys, but you kind of hold your phone in your hand or put it in your pocket, and then you just carry it as an accessory. It's not really for carrying things. Question number 7. Oh, I think that's 6. Okay, 6. Biggest luxe disappointment. Footwear. So my Dior kitten heel little Dior, what do you call them? Pumps. I had to have a topi added to them, and I also, you can see with the mesh, the separation here of the top of the shoe and the base of the shoe. So that's the Dior. Whoop. So that's actually the Dior shoe, and then the topies come away from that because that has separated. So that's kind of disappointing when you pay that kind of money for shoes. And similarly, everybody's probably had the same issue with the Valentino rock studs. The little heels, you've got to add a topi to them because they're so soft, the leather soles. Then because the heels are so fine that they get stuck in between the cracks in footpaths or pavements, and you normally have to get this little heel stop. I basically get it replaced before I even wear the shoes, because knowing from a previous pair, they just don't last. They really need like a wider stop on them to stop them from going through cracks and then ruining the patent leather or whatever coloured leather is on the actual heel. So I'd say that is, you know, a big disappointment. I don't have that problem on the Dior. See how the Dior have a much wider base, so they don't slip through cracks at all. They're actually better made for that reason. But yeah. So when you're buying luxury footwear and you actually want to use it for walking in, be conscious of those things. Okay. Question number 8. 12. Louis Vuitton Monogram or Damier Ebene, and why? more bag candy to share this point. So here I have my Louis Vuitton Clapton. This is a discontinued bag. You may find it on the in the pre-loved market. If you're lucky, it came with a light pink flap and also a dark navy blue flap. This is the black and it's just stunning. Look at that hardware, it's beautiful. And the Damier Ebene. This is my Louis Vuitton Cannes bag. This one is in reverse monogram, but it also has the traditional monogram on the top and yeah, black leather trim. And I also have my monogram Boîte Chapeau, which I showed you before, which has the treated or the untreated. Actually, it is treated, which has the vachetta trim on it as well. So what do I prefer? Based on my collection, I prefer monogram. I think, you know, it's the heritage. It's not the original. I think Damier Ebene was the original monogram by Louis Vuitton on their trunks and travel pieces. But yeah, I think I prefer the monogram. I think I like the playfulness of it. I really quite enjoy the reverse monogram as well. I'm actually thinking, I have a monogram Neverfull, I have a monogram Favourite, I have the monogram Petite Boîte Chapeau, I have a monogram Agenda cover, I have a monogram Mini Pochette. So yeah, overwhelmingly, I definitely have more monogram. I like Damier Ebene, but I think it's the styles in the Damier Ebene that probably have been the reason I haven't purchased them. I'm actually thinking about getting a GM Neverfull for travel. I've actually been thinking about that quite a lot because I do tend to do quite a few overnight trips for work, and I think that would be a better way to travel than having a suitcase, just taking one bag. I mean, how liberating would that be? Yeah. Okay, I've babbled on enough with that question, haven't I? Question number 9 is 11. Favourite Chanel leather. Okay, so here we have Chanel Caviar, which is the grained leather, and here we have Chanel Lamb, which is quite smooth leather. Look, if it's about luxury and colour, I think I prefer the Lamb, and I actually have more Chanel pieces in Lamb than I do in Caviar. But I do love Caviar as well, but I think every Caviar, and Lamb probably as well, has a bit of a different texture to it. So this Caviar, for example, on my jumbo flap is very different to the Caviar on my golden class wok. See, this one is very fine. The Caviar on my GST is different again. It's not as, the grains aren't as pronounced. So they're all different. But I do find that the bags that I lean towards tend to be in Lamb these days. Question 7. The bag you can't get out of your head. Oh, goodness. At the moment, right now, I really love what Kim Jones is doing at Fendi, and I am really kind of drawn to the new shopping bag. I have avoided Fendi because I know that there's a great risk that if I go in, I'm going to buy something. Refer to question 1, the bag that I'm going to sell at the moment, which will give me permission to buy something perhaps. Yeah, I love the leather. I love the big logo. I love the ability to turn it around. I love the handles. I'm going to insert a picture up here somewhere so you know what I'm talking about. The light pink leather, even in the like caramelly brown color. I just think it's beautiful. And the little totes, yeah, I really love them. I also have loved what he's done with the peekaboo and the color range. But I really want a baguette next. And I'm just constantly waiting for my newsletters to come through and going to the website and seeing what they are coming out with. So yeah, Fendi is a real trap for me, and I look often, but I have stayed away. Yeah, so that's what's playing with my head at the moment. That was actually quite fun to do. I still have 20 more questions to go, so if you are interested in me doing a second part to this tag, please let me know. I think it's a really great format for just thinking through your answers at the time. Thanks, Connor, for creating this wonderful tag and not tagging me the first time around. I see what you did there. Thanks to Leslie, who did tag me, the lovely Leslie Adina. And if you would answer these questions any differently, please pop your answers in the comments box down below. I always love hearing the different perspectives here, and I actually am refreshed by the fact that people don't hold back if they disagree, because that's what a conversation is all about, right? So if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, so I'll see you next time. Bye.